Hello, this is Sir Alex again, and welcome to my fourth video. This video will discuss about integers, how we go about adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing integers. Alright, so if you're ready, we may start. Alright, let's go. Okay, there you go. What are integers in the first place? Okay, basically, integers are signed numbers. Okay, we have the positive numbers, we have 0, and we have negative numbers. Okay, what are examples of positive numbers? Okay, so we have 1, 5, 6, 8, 10, and so on. Okay, what are negative numbers? Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 20, and so on. So positive, 0, and negative numbers. So today we'll be discussing on how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide integers. Right? Now, the easiest topic about integers is how to add them, especially positive integers. Okay? For example, 10 plus 15. It's like adding whole numbers. Okay? The answer there is 25. Simple as that. Now, technically speaking, I can say positive 10 plus positive 15, that's positive 25. Okay. How about 40 plus 35? 75. Okay. Or I can say positive 40 plus positive 35 will give us positive 75. All right. The question is, what if we're adding or subtracting a combination of positive and negative numbers? All right. Let's say negative 20 plus 15. Okay. Let's have a convention or an agreement. When we're adding positive numbers, the answer is a positive number, of course. When we're adding two negative numbers, the answer is also a negative number. But when we're adding a positive number and a negative number, the answer is, well, depends. And when we're adding negative to positive, it still depends. Then I will explain that later. Okay? Now we have here negative 20 plus 15. All right. If you have a positive integer and a negative integer, we get the difference of the two integers. Okay, so let's not talk about the signs first. It's 20 and 15. What's the difference between 20 and 15? That's 5, right? Okay. Next, which is higher, 20 or 15? It's 20, right? And the sign of 20 is negative, so the sign of our sum is also negative. So it depends on which number is greater. So the sign of your sum will depend on the sign of your larger number. There. Okay. 14 minus 30. There. Now traditionally, okay, we make this plus, but we change the sign of the next number. There. So I think that's the best method we're going to use, all right? So between 14 and 30, since they both have different signs, we get the difference of 14 and 30, and that is 16, right? But what's the sign of that sum? Which is higher, 14 or 30? It's 30, right? So whatever the sign of the higher number is, that'll be the sign of your sum. Depends. Okay? So it's a bit tricky, so you need to practice on this. Okay, let's have more exercises. Let's say 50, negative 50 plus negative 35, negative 45 minus 6, 82 minus negative 10, 45 plus negative 9. So how do we answer those problems? Oh, look at this. Negative plus negative. What's our agreement here? Negative plus negative is negative. See that? So just add 50 and 35, we'll get 85. And 85 is also negative. Okay? Look at this. Negative 45 minus 6. It's minus, right? So we can change this to plus, but change the sign of the next integer. So it's like adding two negative numbers again. So that's 51. Then it's negative. Remember, negative plus negative is negative. Okay? How about this? 82 minus negative 10. Same thing. Make this positive or plus, and then change the sign of the next number. That's negative, make it positive. So it's 82 plus 10. Or, excuse me, I'll use the black marker. So it's positive 92. Okay, pretty easy, right? Then 45 plus negative 9. One is positive, the other is negative. Difference. Okay. So what's the difference between 45 and 9? That's 36. Okay? And which is higher? Is it 45 or 9? That number is higher. And if you don't see any sign, it means it's positive. Alright? Therefore, the answer there is positive 36. If it's positive, you don't need to write the sign anymore. But if it's negative, you have to indicate the sign of the numbers. Alright? Very easy. Okay? Just needs practice. Okay. How about this? Negative 12 minus negative 12. What do you think is the answer there? Again, we change this to plus, but if you do that, you have to change the sign of the next number. It becomes 12. What is negative 12 plus 12? It's like saying 12 minus 12, and that is 0. Okay? How about this? I asked this question many times to my students, and 50% of them, their answer is 0. I don't think so. Okay? It is good practice to make this positive and then to make the next number negative. So you're adding two negative numbers. So that should be negative 24. Always remember this rule. Okay? Now, this is a rule for addition. It also works for subtraction. Okay? Just remember this. Okay? So much for that. Let's now go to multiplication and division. Right? Multiplication integers. Okay, now this is simpler than addition or subtraction. Okay, when we are multiplying positive number with another positive number, the answer is positive. When we're multiplying negative number to a negative number, the answer is also positive. But if you're multiplying a positive and a negative or a negative by a positive, the answer is always negative. Okay? Simply put, two same signs when you multiply, the answer is positive. If one of them is negative, then the answer is negative. All right, let's start. -4, -3. Negative times negative, positive, so that's positive 12. -6, 5. So that's 30. But what's the sign of 30? Negative and positive, different signs, negative. Okay. 10, -2, 20. One of them is negative, the other is positive, so it's negative. Remember the rules. Okay. For positive, I don't want to give positive integers so easy. What if the problem is this? There. 7 times 8. Okay, here's the deal. Forget first the signs. Multiply first the numbers. Okay, so 7 times 8 is 56. And then work on the signs. Negative times negative, that's positive. Positive times negative, that's negative. See that? Easy. All right. So, for multiplication, just have to remember this. How about division? Same thing. They have the same rule. All I have to do is change this to division. Okay. There. So same rule applies for division. For example, -20 divided by 4. 20 divided by 4 is 5. Different signs, negative. -36 divided by -6. Same signs, positive. Okay. 100, -10, -10. Negative of -3 over, let's say, 3. So what's that? So double negative is positive. You're multiplying two negative signs, so it's positive 3 divided by 3. The answer is 1. Let's make it a bit complex. Okay. How about -5, 30 over negative of -6 and -20? It looks complicated, right? It's easy. Okay. What do we do with this? We don't really multiply. Not yet. If we can simplify the numbers, that's what we do. I can simplify 30 and 20. They're both divisible by 10. So I can divide this by 10 to make it 3. I can divide this by 10 to make it 2. All right? So it becomes -5 times 3. Okay, let's make it positive. 6 and -2. All right? Look at this. Negative over negative is positive. So the whole thing is positive. Okay? I can simplify this and this. Okay? Do cancellation first when you simplify. Okay, I can divide this by 3. This becomes 1. I can divide this by 3. This becomes 2. So my final answer is -5. No, forget about the negative sign because we already cancelled it. It's 5 times 1 is 5 over 2 times 2, 4. There. So the answer is 5/4 or 5 over 4. All right? Check. Yep. All right. There. Okay. One last example. Okay, how about this? Negative 15, negative 4, negative 9 all over 3, negative 5, and 4. How do we simplify that? Again, my advice to you is, as much as possible, do not multiply everything. If we can apply cancellation, like what I've discussed in my second video, okay, you try to practice cancellation first, so to make it simpler. Unless your teacher allows you to use calculators, okay? Now, if I can simplify this, I can cancel this, okay? This becomes 1, and this becomes 1. I can cancel 9 and 3. They're both divisible by 3, remember? So this becomes 1, and this becomes 3. Right? I can cancel 15 and 5. They're both divisible by 5. This is 1. This is 3. Right? 15 divided by 5 is 3. 5 divided by 5 is 1. And now let's rewrite all the simpler fractions or simpler integers. So it becomes negative 3, negative 1, negative 3, 1, negative 1, and 1. Okay? 3 is there, negative. 1 is there, negative. 3 is there, negative. My 1 is there, my 1 is there, it's negative. And then my 1 is also there. See how simple it is? Okay. What is negative times negative? Same rule, huh? Okay? Positive. That's positive. Times negative. Negative. Divided by negative. It's positive. So everything here is positive. Okay? So 3 times 3, 9. Forget about the ones. So it's very easy. Okay? Let's check. Negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. Positive 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. But negative 9 divided by negative 1 is positive 9. Alright? So everything's easy. It just takes practice. Alright? Okay. What have we learned today? Okay. We learned how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide integers. Just remember the rules that we have discussed there, especially in addition of integers. Okay? So positive plus positive is positive, negative plus negative is negative, but adding two different signs depends on which number is higher. How do we do that? By getting their difference first. And then assign the sign, okay, of which number is greater. All right? So easy. Well, in my next video, I will discuss with you PEMDAS or GEMDAS, whatever. Okay? It's the hierarchy of operations. So, stay with me, like, and subscribe. Remember, if Sir Alex says it's easy, then it is easy. Believe me. Okay? Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.